Yeah.
All right, welcome to Commissioner's Corner. I am your host, Scott Vargo, and I'm joined by your commissioners, Tamara Pogue and Josh Blanchard. Elizabeth Lawrence is out of town today, so she isn't able to join us. So we want to talk about a few things today. We've got a couple of different segments. Josh, I'm going to start with you. There is an effort underway to do an updated master plan for our Open Space and Trails Department. So talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So Open Space and Trails, we know that Summit County for many decades now have been acquiring all sorts of open space and trails assets for Summit County, 17,000 acres of space, trailheads, access points into the wild, and we're now at a point where we really need to be thinking about how we're managing all of these assets. It's no surprise that over the last couple of years, Summit County and specifically the White River National Forest has been one of the most visited forests in the United States. And so this is the time where we're starting to think, what does this look like the next 10 years? How do we use these space? How do we appropriately take care of these assets that not only we in Summit County love, but all of our visitors that come here love as well? So we are engaging in an open space and trail master plan project, and we're asking everyone to be a part of it and to share their comments and share their feedback, what's important to them about these spaces that really make Summit County so special. So folks can do that by going to the website at summitcountyco.gov and go to the Open Space and Trails, click on the survey link, and you can take the survey. It's available through the end of the month of October, so you've got a little bit of time to get that completed. And there is, I think there's a contest, right? So you can submit your favorite open space and trails photos and, be a part of the conversation.
Great, yeah, great. And certainly some of the things that we've seen through COVID, lots more activity at our trailheads. We had some significant issues at Quandary.
Yes.
And you guys took some leadership there with regards to a shuttle program and a parking program. And so are we going to see things like that elsewhere within the community as part of Open Space and Trails in the future? I think those are the kinds of questions and topics that we really want folks to be thinking about in addition to just general acquisition.
That's right. That website, just in general, is a great resource. Folks often reach out to me asking, is this partial U.S. Forest Service or Summit County government? You can find all that information on the website, as well as the current master plan, so you can take a look at that and see what you might like to change in that proposal. But I do think, Scott, you're right. We looked at Quandary as sort of a pilot that we might want to roll out and use as a way to manage other trailheads that we know are overwhelmed by folks, and so you can get more information on that as well.
Great. Anything else you guys want to add on that topic?
No, we just hope folks will take the time to complete the survey, and as always, we really appreciate all the input that we get from folks.
Yep, absolutely. The more folks that take advantage of that, the more feedback we get, hopefully the better plan that we're able to generate going forward. So
absolutely.
Great.
Exactly.
Let's see, speaking of public input, there were some recent meetings talking about housing around short-term rentals. There were conversations around incentive programs in addition to code amendments. We're going to talk in an upcoming segment about code amendments, but right now we want to talk about incentive programs and what does that mean, what does that look like, and how do we hope that might impact the workforce housing situation?
So we know in Summit County's traditional workforce neighborhoods that a lot of units that used to be available for our locals are now short-term rentals. And while we welcome visitors to this community, and we certainly appreciate all that industry brings to our community, for many locals, it has been a slightly different story. It has displace them, and it's sort of done so much, we've lost so much housing to short-term rentals that many of our employers can't find folks to work this winter in particular. And so Summit County government, effective October 15th, has rolled out a new program. It's our short-term rental incentive program. If you are currently short-term renting a property, you have a license and you've kept that license in good standing. If you would like to switch over and rent to one of our local workforce members, we will subsidize a large amount of the difference that you might experience in moving from a short-term rental to a long-term rental. So for example, if you find a family and you have a 3-bedroom and you decide that instead of short-term renting this upcoming year, you're going to long-term rent to that family, and you have a 3-bedroom, for example, Summit County government, once you have a signed lease with that local government, with that local family, will subsidize about $24,000 for that first year. So there is lots of information on our website, our housing website, about that program. We have different subsidy amounts for studios, 1-bedrooms, 2-bedrooms, and 3-bedrooms. We have different subsidy amounts for a 6-month lease and a 12-month lease. And we really hope that folks will partner with us to help make Summit County the community that we all know and love, and really preserve housing for our local workforce so that many of our employers can have folks here who offer all of the amenities we all love. Josh, anything you want to add to that?
No, I think that was a great summary. You know, part of, just to echo some of what you said, is, you know, our workforce is so key to making Summit County work. We especially during the winter season when we rely so much on those resort-based businesses, but we need a strong local workforce, you know, that can be here and that can support the industry. And what we're seeing, again, is so many folks have been displaced as the actual housing inventory has gotten smaller. And we really look at, you know, this is, again, an unincorporated Summit County, so these would not be for units that are in the towns in Breckenridge or Frisco, but it would be an unincorporated Summit County. And we know that there are certain neighborhoods in Summit County, too, that for a long time, to your point, really have housed a lot of our workforce, our single workers, you know, even families. And so we are hopeful that this incentive program, as you explained, Tamara, provides that little bit of extra coverage so that the owners of those properties can, you know, sort of stay whole and yet at the same time contribute to positive solutions to keeping our workforce thriving.
Yep. And the program is called Lease to Locals. We're taping today is October the 11th. October the 15th is the official rollout of Lease to Locals. We are doing it in partnership with a private enterprise called Landing Locals that was based out of Truckee area and Tahoe area, and so we're working with them as sort of the administrator, I'll call it. They're the folks that will help to pull in information from both tenants as well as landlords and try to put those folks together, help to administer leases and some of those sorts of things as part of the process. And we're working also in partnership with the town of Breckenridge. And so the town of Breckenridge is very supportive of us trying to work in the Upper Blue and trying to have some transition of units in the Upper Blue. One other thing that I will mention, if you're watching this again middle of October or shortly thereafter, the first couple weeks of the program, the incentives are at a slightly higher level. That's an effort on our part, on the county's part, to try to incentivize folks even further to jump into the fray very quickly. And so we're really hopeful that we can see some activity this season in October or in November to impact the upcoming ski season and get some of those short-term rentals transitioned into long-term rentals as we start to see an influx of seasonal workers coming into the community to support restaurants, to support tourist-adjacent jobs, to support ski areas, et cetera. And so we really are hoping to make kind of a big bang from the jump with this program. So as Tamara said, go to the county's website, you can get information about it. There'll be a lot of other marketing materials getting pushed out as well. Lease to Locals is the name of the program.
We know this incentive program won't work for everyone, but if you only use your unit in the summer and you've been short-term renting all winter, that, you know, you might consider making this transition. Or if you have a full-time investment property, you may find that the dollars that we're offering are enough to really make it worth your while to rent in our long-term market. So we hope that folks will at least get some more information, reach out if you have questions, and we're hoping that everyone can work with us to help make Summit County, keep Summit County home for so many of our locals.
Great. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about more about short-term rentals and code amendments, and then talk a little bit about employment within the community.